All right, hello everybody. This is Chris McClure, and I'm going to be the instructor for Math 219, Calculus 3, Section E1, Section E1 for summer of 2013. All right, right now I am sitting in some room in the lodging at camp. At Fort Jackson, South Carolina. I'm an Army reservist in addition to being an instructor there at DMAC. And I'm attending a 2 week training course. I'm almost done with it. I'll be done on Friday, and then I'll be back with you next week. Okay, but unfortunately, this week, the school was not able to find any substitutes to cover this class. So I'm going to record a couple of lectures to at least get us going this week, and so that you can at least get started with the course. All right. What I want to do with this lecture is just spend about half an hour and going through the syllabus. I don't want to take too long with any one thing. And then in a subsequent lecture, I'll talk with you about the homework, okay? All right, so let's quickly go through the syllabus here. Now, the syllabus is posted on the Blackboard site for this course, and I believe every one of you have access to the Blackboard site. So go ahead and pull it up right now, unless you already have it in front of you. And let's take a look at it. A lot of this stuff is pretty simple to understand, starting off at the top. We're at the Ankeny campus of DMAC, Calculus 3, Math 219, Section E1. The common reference number, actually that's the course reference number, CRN. You'll use this 5-digit number in case you need to do any actions of this course, like add, drop, transfer, that sort of thing. Here's my full name, Christopher R. McClure. Just call me Chris or Mr. McClure, whatever you want. Here's my email address, crmcclure@dmac.edu. I like to communicate using email primarily, especially when I'm traveling. Here's my office telephone number right here. This goes to my office. That's not my cell phone number. I'm purposely not publishing my cell phone number. Just send me an email if you have any questions or concerns. And likewise, when I send you email, I'm sending it to your DMAC email. So just understand that you need to make sure that you're either using your DMAC email or make sure that your DMAC email is being forwarded to an email address that you use frequently. I realize this is an evening class and a lot of you are not going to be on campus during the day, but I've published some office hours here in case you need to come see me before class. I'm on campus 5 days a week, including the hour. These 2 time blocks on Mondays and Wednesdays. You could also pop in before class on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be in the office as well. Anytime that I'm in the office, you're welcome to come in and ask me some questions. I don't use a separate website. I just use Blackboard as my platform. And I'm pretty sure that all of you can find it, but I'll give you a quick rundown on where to locate Blackboard on the DMAC website. All right, course information. All right, so we're going to meet Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6 to 9, building 4, room 5A. It's a nice, comfortable room. Sometimes it gets a little bit hot and stuffy in there, so I'll try to make it comfortable. This course, Calculus 3, is a continuation naturally of Calculus 2. Those of you coming from other schools outside of DMAC may have used a different textbook. We've been using the Briggs Cochran Gillette textbook here. Here I've got the full hardbound version with all of the chapters. Those of you who took Calc 2 here with us recently probably used a paperback special edition with only like the first 10 chapters. Plus, then there was a separate 11 edition for the 11th chapter. So in our bookstore, they're going to be putting in, and they probably have it already. I've been gone for the last week and a half, but as I understand, they're going to have a special edition that has the last 4 or 5 chapters, all the chapters that we're going to cover in our in this course. Anyway, moving on. But all of these topics and more we're going to be covering. But it's mostly going to be multi-dimensional, 3 dimensions and higher calculus. So a lot of the topics that we've discussed in Calc 1 and Calc 2, now we're going to see the 3-dimensional versions of those topics. Now, prerequisites, all right? I normally don't worry about prerequisites for Calculus 3 because I'm assuming that you know better than to enroll in this course if you're not ready. But if it's been about, I don't know, 5 years or more since you last took Calculus 2, it's up to you, but my experience, if it's been a while since you last took Calculus 2, let alone Calculus 1, that you may need to go back and brush up that previous course and go back. But you decide. But this is a fast-paced course. This is a summer, section of Calculus 3. So we go through it pretty quickly. Now, here's a listing of all the sort of competencies that we're going to be covering where you see course competencies. So you can see the list of topics here that you're going to be expected to know. I'll let you read those on your own. Course overview. Now, chapters 12 through 15 out of the textbook is what we'll be covering. All right, I'll let you read all this, but we'll try to strike a balance between theory and applications in this course. And so I'm a little bit of both. I'm more of an applications guy, but I also appreciate the theoretical side as well. But my master's degree is in applied mathematics, so. But I'll try to strike the middle ground and do a little bit of both. All right, so we're going to be starting off with vectors and then moving on to other topics after that. So I'll let you read all that. Study tips, I'll let you read through all these study tips, but folks, the basic ideas of being a good college student all apply here, involving reading and studying your textbook, go over the material 2, 3, 4 times, reading the textbook. I'll say it often because I cannot think of anything more crucial than to mastering this material than reading and studying all the topics. And the examples, there's lots of good examples here in this textbook. Take good notes. All right, we go through PowerPoints, and I'll be posting those PowerPoints, so those are good notes as well. But you should also be taking good notes on your own as you go through the course as well. Carefully study the textbook. Do your homework. Yes, we're going to be doing homework online using my math lab. Time management is super important for this course because, after all, it's a summer math course. And it's easy to get behind. All right, so a lot of you know why you're taking Math 219. A lot of you are engineering students or statistics majors or or meteorology or math ed. Some of you need this to get your math ed credential or whatever. Just understand that you need to know, what your sequence of courses is for your degree. And if you're not sure, go see an advisor. Right? Now, we already talked a little bit about the textbook. You don't necessarily have to buy this big, thick textbook. You can get that special edition that they sell at the bookstore. Otherwise, I put a link in here so you could buy the full version if you want off of the internet. Or you can just buy access to my math lab and just use the ebook on there if you don't want the physical textbook. That's perfectly fine with me. Now, your standard list of materials apply here. We're not doing anything really fancy in this course, so I'm not going to be expecting you to have any laptops or tablets or anything right here. This is still a fairly, old school pencil and paper sort of class. But you really should have access to some sort of graphing calculator. A lot of you have TI-89s, Inspires, or your various HP calculators. Those are all perfectly fine. The TI-84 is fine. Even the TI-73. But you should have some sort of graphing calculators. Some sort of graphing calculator would be good. Anytime that you do some sort of work that you're going to turn into me, you should be doing it in pencil. I will not accept any math work, whether it's a quiz or exam or whatever, if it's done in ink. All right, I expect graphs. If I ask you to sketch a graph on a quiz or an exam, I expect for you to use rulers and graph paper. All right, here's a breakdown of the components of the class: quizzes, homework, couple of section projects, a few exams, and then the final exam for a total of 1,100 points. Okay. All right. And so there's a possible 1,100 points available for you. And also, I'm a pretty nice guy. I'll give you opportunities for extra credit too on quizzes and exams. Okay. And of course, here's the list of possible grades for you to earn. I expect everyone to get an A. But in order for you to get an A, you need at least 1,027 points. But if you don't earn an A, you can get some other grade based on how many points that you have earned, all based on here. So it's very objective. All right. Some point in the middle of the semester, around the early part of July, I need to post midterm grades, and those will be based on probably your first exam, your homework, and some whatever quizzes that we've taken. And that'll be a swag, though. That'll just be a real estimate. But any other time during the semester, please don't ask me, oh, am I passing, or what grade am I going to get? Folks, here's the basic breakdown of the point scheme. And here is how the components are broken down point-wise, okay? So all you need to know, you know as well as I do, what your grade is in the class, okay? And by the way, I don't want to have the discussion, and I don't mean this to be a turnoff. It's just one of the hardest parts of my job at the end of the semester is like, oh, if you earned a grade of D, and that's what I assigned you, but you need a C in order to be admitted into your program, is there anything that you can do or I can do, or whatever, to change your grade? The answer is no. Even if you get a C minus and you need a C, I'm not changing the grade unless you have some compelling reason. Okay, enough said? All right, homework is done using my math lab. And I'll show you here in a few minutes on how to access my math lab. A lot of you have done online homework before. There's not a whole lot for me to talk about there. We'll be doing paper-based quizzes. All right, but those are for people who show up to class. If you don't show up to class, you're not going to take the quiz. I mean, that's just as simple as it's going to be. By the way, some of those quizzes will be in class. Some of those quizzes will be where I pass out a quiz at the end of class on Tuesday, and they'll be due at the beginning of class on Thursday. Okay, just because it might take you an hour or two to work through the 5 or 10 problems I give you. Okay. Section projects, you'll be working on 2 projects during the semester. I'll be breaking you down into groups, which I call cohorts. So you'll get together in a group of about 4 or 5 per cohort. But I'm going to wait till I meet up with you in person next week to do that, okay? We will have 3 exams during the semester, and then the final exam, okay? You will be allowed to use crib sheets and your calculators. Just a point is regarding the use of calculators. Is in order for you to get full credit on my exams, for each questions, you need to display enough work without skipping too many steps in order to justify whatever answer that you give. So if you don't show me enough work to show me what your thought process was, you're not going to get full credit. So, and I realize with today's modern calculators that they are super amazing, that you can almost think about how to input some crazy integral in it, and it'll solve it numerically or symbolically. That technology has actually been around for over 20 years, and I've been using it myself. But you need to display the intermediate steps of how you evaluate your integrals, for example, or whatever. Classroom conduct. Folks, here's the steps. I'm just going to point them out to you, let you look at them. No surprises here. Timeliness is very important to me. I make it a point to come to class on time, prepared, and I expect the same for you. All right, show up on time, be prepared, participate actively. So, hey, we're going to talk about stuff in class. I'll be calling on people or, throwing out questions, and I really want everyone to pay attention and participate. Listen with care to class discussion. And here's the last one, is silence your cell phones. Now, look, I have a smartphone. I've had, one for a number of years, and it's, I'm almost addicted to it. It's like crack, okay? But there's a time and place for everything, so I just appreciate it as a matter of courtesy just to put it on vibrate, or better yet, silence, and put it in your pocket or in your purse or whatever. And then if you need to take a call, like if you got a kid at home or some emergency happens, just take your phone and take it outside, all right? And if you need to leave for some reason, just let me know, and then do what you need to do. All right. Missed exam. So if you have to miss exam because you know that you're going to be out of town, or something comes up that your car died on you, or you got sick or injured or something, try to let me know, or get someone to let me know as soon as possible. Okay, I'm pretty flexible a lot of this stuff, but please don't try to how shall I say it, manipulate it, because I can detect it pretty quickly. So, but if you do need to miss an exam, we do have a testing center here on the Ankeny campus in Building 6, next to the Academic Achievement Center. This link right here will take you to the website. It'll give you the hours, the required things that you need. You need to know my name, Mr. McClure, Chris McClure, because there are two other McClure instructors here on campus, including a male, Corey McClure. No, that's not me. I'm Chris McClure from Math 219. Show them your picture ID, and you're there to take an exam. And I would, provided that you let me know in advance that you needed to make up the exam, I will have your exam over there, and they just need to go into the file cabinet, locate my folder, and they'll give you the exam, and then you'll have the specified amount of time needed. For those of you who have testing accommodations, time and a half, double time testing, testing outside of the classroom, whatever, you'll also be taking your exams over in the testing center as well. Same deal though, you still need to bring your picture ID and stuff. If you don't have your picture ID with you, and if I'm on campus, just have them call me and I can come over and vouch for you. Okay. Regarding late assignments on my math lab, all right, I'm pretty flexible with the homework. I'll just leave it at that, okay? Study expectations. Folks, just do the basics of being a good student, all right? Come to class every night. Read the textbook, work on the homework assignments. I'm going to give you a mixture of easy, medium, and some hard problems, all right? And, for all the homework assignments, I'm going to just give you all the possible homework questions that they have. And, some assignments are going to be longer than others. And if you just don't have the time to do all the problems, just do as much as you can, all right? For all the problems and points that you have available on the My Math Lab, I'm not going to say that all of them will be equal to 100%. Maybe 75% of the available homework would be 100% homework score for me. All right, so just keep that in mind, okay? Just do the best that you can in engaging in the material in the class. All right. What I won't accept is to hear people complain that you don't understand and I wasn't there to help you and it's all my fault or whatever. No, folks, I'm here to help, but you need to do your part and read the material, listen to the lectures, come to class, read the textbook, and work lots of problems on the homework, okay? And then if you're struggling, I expect to see you during office hours. And also asking questions in class. All right, if there's homework problems that you don't understand, for example, send me an email and or ask me in class. But it's up to you to engage in the material and take responsibility for your learning, okay? I'm here to help. I'm here to facilitate. Enough said. Okay, we are moving into the summer season, so we very well could have flooding or tornadoes or severe thunderstorms, all right? If something happened and, roads are in poor condition, for example, and campus is closed, we will post that information on the DMAC website, all right? And also various radio and television stations will be broadcasting that information as well. So whether it's kind of hinky out there and you're not sure, just check ahead of time. And you could always send me an email too, provided that power and the network is up. Okay? But please, if it's unsafe for you to travel, then don't travel. And then just try to do the best that you can. Just read the material on your own until we meet again. Okay? Now, class cancellation. This summer is going to be a little bit weird for me in that we're already starting this semester with me being gone. But that's okay. We are flexible and resilient, okay? and hopefully, listening to the lectures on the computer will be a suitable substitution. I'm also going to be gone 2 weeks later in June, from something like the third to the fourth week. So for the last approximately 2 weeks of June, I'll be gone as well. We'll try to find a substitute, but there's a possibility that we can't find a substitute. So it could be that you have 2 weeks with me giving more video lectures. Okay. I hope that's okay with you. This is a web blended class, and I purposely have my classes coded as web blended for these very sort of circumstances, because I am an Army reservist and I'm going to have to travel from time to time on Uncle Sam's dime and time, so to speak. So you will know in advance when I have to be gone, and I'll post lectures for recorded lectures. Now, if I get sick or injured or something that keeps me from teaching unexpectedly, then we'll make every attempt to contact you all. I or somebody from the dean's office will contact you by email and probably even by telephone too. Now, this is a big class. There's at least 26 people enrolled. So it depends on how long it had been since I had notified the dean's office. They may not even have time to call you, but you'll at least get an email. So make sure that you're monitoring your email several times through the day. Okay. All right, moving along here. Oh yeah, and the secretary also would. Sorry about that. I lost my PDF folder. Well, right now I'm going to show you how to log into Blackboard. I don't know what happened there. You can see I had Skype up. I'm waiting for a Skype chat with my wife. My wife has just adopted some chickens. And she's decided to get into having chickens in the backyard. She just got some chicks today, and so she's supposed to log in and on Skype and show me them. I'm kind of excited for her, but not looking forward to it myself. All right, so through the DMAC website, you just click on login, and then click on My Online Learning here, and then click on the Blackboard link. And then log in using your DMAC network credentials. Now, the way it's going to look for me is going to be a little bit different from how it looks for you, but find the link for this class. It's going to say Calculus 3. Now, look, I don't have a lot of stuff on this right now, and I typically don't put a lot of stuff anyway. It's just I'm a pretty basic guy, bare bones. But from time to time I'll post announcements. For example, when it comes time for us to nail down a date for each of the exams, I'll post those exam dates using the announcements. All right, I'm pretty flexible with exam dates, by the way. You'll notice that. I have the syllabus. By the way, when the announcements get posted, they'll get posted also not only on Blackboard, but they'll also get sent to your email. Click on syllabus, and here's a copy of the syllabus PDF. I don't know why the whole thing shut down on me, though. So anyway, it could be because I'm recording and takes up a lot of my laptop's resources. If you click on the link for instructor, there's a cheesy picture of me back when I had a lot more hair. Hey, look, I took this picture after I got back from my deployment to Iraq. and I was kind of in a mode where I just didn't really care too much about anything. But in here's my contact information here. And then, but here's the meat and potatoes of the course located under course content, okay? And I have links for a few things already. My math lab. Uh, I'm going to show you my math lab in a separate lecture, okay? I don't want to make my lectures too long, okay? But for those of you who know how to do it, you can click on my math lab and then click on one of these links and go ahead and get registered. The instructions are on the last page or two of the syllabus. All right, what else do I have on course content right now? Yeah, here's a page to show you how to get registered with my math lab going through Blackboard, okay? So after you click this link here and click on any of those links within this folder, then follow the instructions on this link. This page, I think, is also on the last page or two of the syllabus as well. I'll post my recorded lectures in one of these folders. I think I'll have my recorded notes in here, like a recorded PDF notes right here. Let me go ahead and set up a separate folder here for recorded lectures. I'm going to call this folder recorded lectures. So in this folder here, there's nothing in it because I just created it, but you'll see that I'll post the recorded lectures there. And I'll also send you a link to the recorded lectures that I post on YouTube as well. Okay. All right. Now, getting back to the syllabus here, now that you have seen Blackboard. All right, we talked about class cancellation. What I was about to say before my browser blinked out on me was that if class is canceled, not only will you get some sort of message, email and or phone call, but also at the classroom door there will be a sign, some bright color that says class is canceled, okay? So like I said, make sure that you're monitoring your email, though, especially if you're coming from out of the area, because I sure hate to see someone make a trip from Ames or Altoona or whatever just to come to the class, only to find out that the class is canceled. Now, I'm a pretty healthy guy. I'm pretty simple, and there shouldn't be any reason why I wouldn't be there. So, unless I go away with the Army Reserves. All right, academic dishonesty, plagiarism. All right, basically means don't cheat, don't have someone do your homework for you. A lot of the points for the class, though, is going to be through quizzes and exams and projects, where there's no mistaking of who did the work, okay? By the way, for those people who don't participate fully in the projects, I will find out because I will have people fill out survey forms at the end of the semester. So those people who did not participate to support their cohorts in doing the projects, I will deduct points from your projects score. Okay, moving along here. Blackboard for the instructor homepage. For those people who are not sure whether or not they're doing well enough in the course to continue on, well, July 2nd is your decision date to drop this course, which means that you'll see a withdrawal on your transcript. After July 2nd, then you have to accept whatever score, whatever grade that you have earned. I don't have it in here in the syllabus, but Those people who, for some reason, something happened in their life and that they want to ask for an incomplete, the rules are pretty specific according to college policy, is that you needed to have been passing the class in order for me to grant you an incomplete. So, for example, suppose that 2 weeks away from the end of the semester, someone becomes really sick or injured, and they need time to heal up and then complete the requirements for the class. That's an example of when I would give an incomplete. But for people who, for whatever reason in their lives, just got behind and started failing the class, and that's not a good enough reason for me to give you an incomplete, just take the F and retake the class. I'm teaching it again next fall. All right, for those people who need accommodations, for example, note taking or signing or test taking outside of the classroom, double time, time and a half, whatever, in order for me to grant you those accommodations, I need to see a letter delivered from you to me, and that letter comes from Dr. Holly Kuhn. Here's her phone number right here. Here's her email address. She is located in Building 6. Not too hard to find her. Here's the web link to get to her office on the web and her contact information. All right. And then here's the disclaimer. It is not a contract. This syllabus is not a contract between you and me. This is just enough. This is the information that I know to be true as of now. If there's anything that materially changes, I will let you know. I don't discriminate. I'm grumpy toward everybody. No, not really. But, hey, I'm not all that grumpy. But someone told me I was grumpy earlier today. Depends on my mood, of course. But there is no discrimination that happens in my class for any reason whatsoever. If you detect any discrimination or prejudice or whatever, please, you can contact me. You can let me know individually. You can contact any of these people down here, Lori Wolf, Debbie McKittrick, or anyone else in the DMAC administration, okay? Here's the Director of Human Resources, Dr. Sandy Tryon. Sharon Bittner is a lead administrator over in Building 6. She's the Support Services Director, and she is someone who you can talk with if you are having issues where you need tutoring or some sort of accommodation and you're just not getting the sort of support that you need in order to be successful as a student. She's someone who you could talk with, okay? There are lots of resources available for you here at DMAC, okay? All right, so I'll talk about those here in a minute, but I want to talk about real quick is how do you register for Blackboard? Now, let me talk real quick to those people who took Calculus 2 last spring. Now, if you started the Calculus 1 sequence last fall and you used that MyMathLab access that you started with in Calculus 1 last fall and then used again in Calculus 2, you could still use that again for Calculus 3 this summer because that access code is good for 1 calendar year. So call the MyMathLab customer support. And just like a lot of you had to do at the beginning of Calculus 2, do the same thing for Calculus 3 and they'll get you hooked up, okay? For those of you who have just bought the textbook and you have a MyMathLab access code that came with your book, then that's good. Then you have an access code. Otherwise, if you don't have an access code, then you need to have some money either on a credit card or PayPal, okay? Now, when I say credit card, also debit cards work as long as it has a Visa or a MasterCard logo on it. So just follow the instructions, going through Blackboard, click on that My Math Lab homework link, and click on any of those links, like for example the My Math Lab course home, but any of the other links would work just fine. And then this screen right here will pop up asking you to sign in. Now, if you have ever used some Pearson product, meaning My Math Lab, My Stat Lab, My Bio Lab, accounting, there's many other labs, meaning online homework for the different disciplines. But if it was Pearson, then you have an account already. So go ahead and log in. If you remember your login credentials, this first one where it says your user ID or whatever, username, sorry, I wear reading glasses, username, that will probably be an email of some kind that you can put in there. If you don't remember your password, then you can click on this link right here that will allow you to reset your password. But if you have never used a Pearson product before, then you can click on this link right here where you can click in. They'll ask you some basic questions: name, address, phone number, email, stuff like that. Okay. By the way, please use a name that matches the name that you enrolled with here at DMAC. I've had issues with students who use different last names for whatever reason, and I get confused about that. So please keep your last names and your first names, for that matter, the same. I realize that some people use nicknames and stuff. All right. So you log into Pearson, and then you'll tell it, do you have an access code? In which case, you'd click on that link. If you don't have access code, then you can pay for access using a credit card or PayPal. Or if you don't have money to buy your textbook and get an access code, or if you don't have money to buy your access there, then you can at least get a 17-day temporary access by clicking on this link right here. Okay? So if you do have the access code that came on a card, then you rip open the card and input, well, to expose that window with the code on there, and then input the code here and enter and so forth. Now, the system's going to know what the course is, all right, because it's linked through the Blackboard. So you don't have to worry about finding the course. Otherwise, if you selected to pay for it using a credit card or PayPal, then you'll see the price. I don't honestly know what the price is. It could be 65, 70, 85, 90, whatever. Let me know. It should be less than $100, but if it's much more, let me know, and there's probably not a whole lot I could do to change the cost, though. It seems to be going up every year. Now, if you, like I said, need temporary access, then you use that third option. But you need to make sure that in 2.5 weeks that you go back in after you get your money and sign back in with your money, either with your access code or with your credit card or PayPal or whatever. And then your registration is complete. It just takes a few minutes. Now, some people prefer to access their online homework by using the MyLab thing. I'll show you that in a separate lecture, okay? So let's just go ahead and finish this presentation by having me welcome you to the course. And what I want you to do over the next day or two is to Get your textbook if you don't have your textbook. Make sure that you can access Blackboard, and then make sure that you can access all of the stuff, all of the content in Blackboard, and get registered with my math lab. Okay, so that's your assignment over the next 48 hours, we'll say. I'm going to post a different lecture for those people who need to or want to access my math lab using the Pearson My Lab and Mastering website. But most of you will access homework directly by clicking on this link through Blackboard. All right, I don't have any assignments posted. But in order for you to access your homework, you just click on this link right here. You might have to disable a pop-up blocker. See, I don't have any homework assignments, but I will. Tonight I will post an orientation homework, and probably tomorrow I will post, after I give my first lecture on the first section of material from the textbook, I will post a link. I'm sorry, I'll post your first homework assignment, and you'll see it right here. So after you do your orientation homework, those of you who've used my math lab, you can breeze right through it. You still have to do it, but it'll be real quick. But those of you who have never used my math lab before, this will be a good introduction, the orientation homework. And then you'll have your first homework assignment after that. Okay, so make sure that you're constantly checking my math lab here through this link. All right, like I said, if you want to use the separate MyLab and Mastering website, I will show you how to do that in a separate lecture. And those people who might think they want to do it, they can listen to that lecture. But otherwise, if you're just going to access it through my math lab, then you can just ignore that lecture. Okay, so I'm going to stop recording now. Please send me an email if you have any questions about anything, please. I'm just an email away. I may not necessarily be able to answer it immediately, but by the end of the day, I will get an answer to you of some kind or another. So you can see that I went over my half-hour target, and sorry, I tend to get a little bit long-winded, okay? Take care, and watch out for future lectures, okay? Bye.